Alright, YouTube, another one. I'm back outside, Mike and Les. I'm up in the Toyota. Yeah, I remember the Toyota. Toyota ain't gone yet. Apparently, I have some great news with the weather. No more rain. I guess the rain basically did what it did last night, so now we got no more rain. But everything was canceled, like all shows and everything was like basically canceled. So it's just a little cold outside, but great thing, no more rain. So it is what it is. You just gotta make the adjustment to your day, my day. You know how that goes. So right now I'm about to just start on. I didn't change the oil on Renzel yet, so I'm about to get to that. And I just want to speak about something also, what I learned during the whole Renzel remix process and all that. And if y'all didn't look at them videos, y'all should really go back and look at that video. Them videos I did with the whole DOD, the lifters, transmission. I did a lot of work on Renzel. And I also learned a lot about GM motors, and everybody be screaming LS's and all that, and they don't know nothing about it really. They don't know how to work on it. They don't know the behavior. They don't know the inner of the guts and all that. But a lot of people do. So it's one thing I learned, right, from breaking the motor down, cleaning the motor of a lot of carbons and oil buildup, gunk, all kind of stuff I seen, right? All kind of stuff I touched. I mean, from just doing multiple oil change, analyzing the oil, straining the oil. I strained the oil to see particles and buildups and stuff that maybe occur while I beat up the road. I could just say from when I've been driving Renzel, my driving patterns, my behaviors, I know where I went, I know what I did, right? I know the time frame of me swapping out the fluids and stuff, right? So what I'm boiling down to, fluids, right? Fluids on a vehicle, if you're a DIY person or you're an upcoming DIY person that want to do your own work and stuff like that, right? Fluids is very, very an important thing to change. The dealer, let me tell you something, the dealer's so coy, right? They'll program your car, the lights will come on to be like change your oil at a certain time. Sometimes they say, oh, the car could go 365 days without you changing the oil, right? But what happened in due time, right, the oil gets dirty, right? So anything that get dirty, you basically, like, it get dirty and all you doing is just draining and filling. So what happened to the oils that, the dirt and the deposits that build up on the walls and on the sides and all that, like, what happened to that? Not like you could go in there and scrape it out or clean it. So after years and years of heat, whatever, it builds up, right? It builds up, it gets hard, it turns into some other ish, right? That now parts start to fail, lifters start to fail, rocker arms start to fail. These things just like is moving parts that just get stuck because they got a lot of carbon and a lot of buildup on it, right? And that's why people be always having to swap motors and change this and that. So like a key thing I learned about fluids, like F what the dealer programs, whatever, 3,000-4,000 miles, whatever, I'm cutting that ish in half. Like from now on, right? Because as I said, I just kind of like, I like to analyze things, like why this may be happening, why, what. You understand what I'm saying? So, as I said with the oils, yeah, like, even like with the Toyota, which I'm driving right now, also even with the scat pack, right? I used to kind of do that like what everybody else do. You know, sometimes it get dirty, it start burning. I just add a bottle because I figure I don't got no time, or I'm like, I'll be good, whatever, but not just thinking about, the end part that eventually, like, it's gonna give me a problem. Like, so it's just something I learned with different fluids. That's why you always see me like swapping out oil and stuff like that. Cause when I did all this work, I'm like, you know what? Like, this is not gonna happen again. Like, certain things is not gonna happen again with me. You know what I mean? Like, even like the 13 lac, right? It got it has a oil strainer, right? And the oil strainer, hold on. The oil strainer, it's where the oil pressure sensor is at. So first of all, there's the oil strainer that goes down in the hole, right, in the valley. And then the oil pressure sensor goes on top of it, right? So it's a strainer that picks up particles and debris and stuff like that, right? So, listen, I think I took the oil pressure sensor out so much times because I used my additive. And then again, another thing with additives, I'm gonna explain to you about that too, but certain additives. So the oil pressure sensor got the strainer, right? So it basically, if some particles get in it, the sensor can't do its job and give you a proper pressure reading of your oil, right? So I had to take that out more than one time to get a proper reading of the oil, because of the fact that I use an additive, and what the additives do, you know what I mean? Like, additives is cool if you a DIY person or a mechanic shop, whatever, certain additive. Because when they talk about these additives cleans and it does this and that, whatever, you know what them joints do? Them joints is like high-end detergent. They break up-ish, you know what I mean? They're cleaners, right? So what they doing, like an injector cleaner, right? An injector cleaner, right? You put in your gas tank, right? It's mixing with your gas, right? So eventually what it's doing is it's breaking up some particles in your tank. It's breaking up particles, basically wherever it's breaking up the rest of the particles, right? And then you think it's helping the injector. Sometimes it make the injector work, because now it broke up some particles, and now the injector hole is like a pin-sized hole. Now one of the injector holes is clogged, and you can't, you know what I mean? So it's like so that's kind of like what I'm saying is something like that kind of happened to me. And I love additives. But you know what? I got a little bit cautious now with certain additives because of the fact that with the 2013 Escalade, you got the strainer. So anytime you use an additive, like even like with oil or anything like that, like an oil like flushing sometimes and stuff like that, what happens is the additive breaks up the carbon or whatever, gunk, whatever, and the strainer picks it up. So now you gotta make sure you take the strainer out, you clean the strainer, and then you gotta flush it. And it's like a whole bunch of, like a whole process. Like, you dig what I'm saying? But it's good, but I did all of that, people. That's why I have an oil catch can, right? Get yourself an oil catch can. Look into it, do your research. It picks up a lot of garbage too. Like, you see a lot of garbage that get picked up that, basically, like, that's why you change your oil. You change your oil because basically you're dumping out the old garbage or whatever. But y'all go see in my video, basically I'm gonna check the oil catch can, right? And just change the oil. So right now, as I said, I'm gonna do an oil change on Renzel. The oil I'm gonna be going with today is AC Delco. I think it's gonna be the only and last time I'm going with Delco. I just wanted to try the Delco. I think I'm gonna move back to the Mobile One High Performance with the protection. But as I said, it's just a thing now with that vehicle, with everything I've done and I know I've done, right? I'm just gonna be, as I said, I'm beating up the road with these cars now. So it's just gonna be like a norm thing. Like every 1,500 miles, I am swapping that oil out, people. I am swapping the oil out. If I make a run out of town, come back, swapping that oil out. Oil is not that much money. And I get it. Not everybody could do what I do because I'm doing it myself. But even though I wasn't doing it myself, even if I have to go to a lube place or let somebody do it real quick for me, it's getting done. That is going to save the motor. That is going to save the motor. And also the same thing with like the diff, right? You know, they give you a projected amount of mileage to change the diff. I think I'm about to swap out my diff oil too because this is moving parts. These things moving, they get super dirty. As I said, the oil is not expensive. It's really not expensive. So to try to save the life of, you know, the parts and certain things, I'm just gonna be like, you know, just swapping out the fluids more regular on all these vehicles I got. So yeah, that was just a little education, a little bit of knowledge, because I actually had seen a post on this lady, I think she called herself She Mechanic, and you know, she be busting out LS motors and different motors, and then she actually said the same thing, like, you know, like the same thing with the GM, you know, with the oil. So she, you know, she was saying that she's gonna try to do oil changes like 50%. You know what I mean? Even like she was talking about the Hemi. She got a 6.2, I think a Marrow or something like that, whatever, and I got a 6.4 Scat, right? So there's something called like a Hemi tick. You know what I mean? I think that Hemi tick comes from, you know, not changing the oil on time. And I heard it because, as I said, I used to do the same thing. Past 4,000 miles, had a powder, whatever. But I'm gonna stop that. So it kind of got like this Hemi tick. And I was like, damn, why the hell? Because I got a hundo on it. You know what I mean? I be beating up the road with the Scat. So for me, a person that beat up the road the way I was driving, I should have changed the oil a little bit more often. Like I said, 1,500. You know what I mean? It don't cost that much, but y'all be putting 1,500. Y'all I be beating the road up so much, I put the miles on real quick. So it'll be maybe like every month I'll be swapping oil, people, honestly. You know what I mean? But still, it's good. It keeps the motor fresh. It keeps when you open up valve covers, it's clean, it's not dirty, and that's basically how you want to see it. So, as I said, the same thing with the box Chevy. I don't drive the box Chevy too much, but I do regular changes on it. I didn't do the extensive work like I did on Renzel, but I still try to swap out the oil. You know what I mean? Like, even if, you know, I maybe put whatever, 1,000, I swap it out. You know what I mean? Because it ain't about nothing to do. It's making sure that I keep that, you know, them parts well lubricated with some fresh oil. All right, but other than that, I talked enough real quick. I'm gonna basically go in the garage, see what it is. Right, get this day started. Got a little drizzle outside right now, see. I ain't really seeing no rain, but it's a little drizzle, which is cool. And I'm gonna get this day started, so I'm gonna tap back in with y'all. All right, guys, I made it back in the garage, so I'm gonna give y'all a cold start. Which one y'all want first? I'm gonna give y'all the Scat. To my ears, people. Music to my ears. There we go. Time for Renzel. Nice and calm and cool. I told y'all what I gotta do anyway. I gotta check the oil. I did the oil on this one. I gotta do the oil on Renzel. Let it warm up a little bit. Oh, well, that's a safety feature. Pop the hood. No more running. Yeah, so gonna check the oil real quick. Let's get some tissue here. Let's get some tissue here, people. Just get the roll. Yeah, I'm gonna check the oil, which I know I gotta change, but I just wanna check the oil level. And let me get this light on for y'all. I actually forgot my other light in the crib. Get y'all on the stand. Okay, cool. Well, what they call this, Sunday Funday. So, let's check the oil on here. Actually, I need to check the oil on everything. I need to check the oil on the Toyota also, because the Toyota need an oil change. So, let me just do all of that right now. So, right now, oil is actually, see, this oil is kind of dirty. It's not golden, but it's a little dirty, so y'all can see it's getting brown. And I'm right on time to change it because this was a throwaway oil anyway, as I told y'all. So, let me see if I can find this hole in the dark. So pull it back one more time and just show y'all. All right, so it's dirty. So I did use it to where I needed to use it. It's not golden. So I did get it somewhat dirty. I got my money's worth, right? And this was if y'all look at the videos, this was the oil I basically used after I did a flush. So now let me check the oil catch can, right? To see what this oil catch can just be catching, like a lot of garbage. Alright, this thing is like, it takes mad long to come out. So the oil catch can, people, is active, as y'all can see, because I be beating up the road runs out, so it's active, so I gotta dump that out. I actually have an oil pan here, so I'm gonna actually just dump that out. So I'm just gonna show y'all just gonna go through this exercise with me. I have 1, 2, 3 catch cans, right? So I'm gonna check the next car catch can. I'm gonna check the scat, right? The scat, I don't really drive the scat like that yet, but I did, I did change the oil. I did do a little, bust a couple of laps, whatever, with the scat. So, and then the box Chevy didn't really drive it too much as well, but I just want to see basically where it stands with the catch cans. So that's why I tell y'all, if you got a whatever car you driving, depending on what kind of car it is, also if y'all could get an oil catch can. This one here is Evil Energy. They on Amazon, so basically it's like a universal joint. So, well, that's depending on how you drive your vehicle and certain things, like, what I mean? That's kind of like where I'm at, what I'm saying. So maybe you have a vehicle that you don't drive, but I think it's cool because it does work. I kind of was like late on the catch can thing. I used to see, a lot of people with performance cars have it, but nobody never really explained to me, yo, get an oil catch can, like, do this. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, I picked it up on my own.
I just, just try to follow the rules of the catch can and stuff like that, and basically, I just went catch can crazy, basically. So I just put them on. You don't see them on these 6'2" Escalades. So I decided just to put one on Renzel, and it pretty much worked out. All right, so we're gonna move along to the Scat Pack. Right. Bear with me, I have to uncover the Scat Pack in the front a little bit. And then we're gonna pop the hood, and I'm gonna just basically show y'all the same, I'm gonna check the oil, which hopefully the oil level is supposed to be good because of the fact that I just swapped the oil out on this. So, all right, let's get to the front of the pack. Garage got water leaking all over the place. If y'all know about these multi-garages, how they are. All right, so my oil catch can right here is a different one. It's not like the same thing. Like it's not the Evil Energy. It's something else I've seen like for Dodge and stuff like that. So the other one I have a dipstick. This one come with a dipstick. I think I actually checked this recently. So let me see if there's any. So there's very, very little oil in here, which we're still gonna dump that out. Because as I said, I haven't really been using it like that. So let's dump this out. Right. Then I'm just gonna do a little just wipe. Just a little wipe on it. It's pretty dirty, so that means, it's doing what it's doing. So basically I'm gonna be doing another oil change on the Charger. Somewhat of what you want to call it, a rinse, because I did at one point I did go over the recommended oil life of the oil that was in there. So I had to throw like at that point I did have to throw another bottle of oil, and it was pretty dirty. So I will be doing another oil change on that. All right, let's get this back. And I gotta get a new one of these because I actually sprayed something I did like an engine wash, and I sprayed the chemical on it, and it kind of like faded the red along with the heat. So all right, let me check the engine oil just to see the color and what it looked like. So the color is it's still golden, not bad, right? Haven't really did too much driving, so it's like I need to change it again because it shouldn't be that super dirty. Because I told you I did like a quick oil change, and sometimes when I do a flush, I'm not gonna go and just buy Pennzoil. I'll buy a cheap oil, and I basically let it run through it. How actually to do a flush basically is you basically you put the oil in there, let it run for 15 minutes, let it get warm, and then you drain it while it's warm. So basically that's kind of how you do engine, not a rinse. I won't even say a flush. I'm sorry, a rinse. I want to do a rinse. So you never know. I'm not gonna do a rinse on Renzel. Because of the fact that I did do a motor flush and a rinse already, and the oil that's in it now was actually like the last oil, but I'm not gonna do a rinse. But I think certain other cars I may have to do a rinse before I actually add the other oil. If you go over, the recommended time. All right, so that's done. So now I'm gonna check the box Chevy, people. All right, back to the box Chevy. So this catch can right here is the same evil energy, right? But I have it positioned in this weird ass corner because I couldn't really find a great spot to basically to mount it. So I had to kind of go with this spot here in the corner, which is not so great because now I can't even this thing is like tight. Let me see if I get a different position, people. I think I'm gonna have to change this. Nah, that position was good. I think I'm gonna have to change this spot because right now it don't feel like a user-friendly spot to me. Okay, it's a little tight there, so. But it's not like the greatest spot. I've seen people actually put it over here somewhere, but I gotta find another spot, another cool spot. I seen somebody put it over here. I maybe could do that. I just gotta get longer hoses and basically do the plumbing. Maybe if I'm gonna do it, maybe I'll do it in the plumbing. The hose will come around here and maybe run along here to here. That's the only thing with the stuff. As I said, it's the plumbing of the way you're gonna do it. You gotta basically fabricate it, as I'm saying. So everything you have to fabricate, and so I put it here for now. As I said, it wasn't in the best place, but I made it work, and it worked for now. So let's see. I didn't check this in a while, so let's see what this basically got. And as I said, it has a dipstick. So okay, this is what we're looking at here. It's dirty. So let's get back to over here and let's take a better look at what we got in more of a light. Right. So that's dirty, people. Pretty dirty. Pretty dirty. As I said, I just recently did a oil change. I was contemplating on doing a flush, right? But as I said, if y'all was listening to me in the other video, a flush. Well, the only thing with this is a 6.0, so if I do a flush on the 6.0, it don't have that oil pressure sensor strainer like this one has. So I maybe wouldn't have to, keep on, checking the strainer, cleaning the strainer, doing X, Y, and Z with the strainer because of the fact that it don't have a strainer. The 6.2 has a strainer. So anybody doing a motor flush on the 6.2 that has a DOD application, AFM, that's the to deactivate, for your joints to go into 4-cylinder and 8-cylinder with the lifters, you have that strainer. I was also looking at some videos everybody did that DOD delete joint. I didn't do it because I wasn't really too familiar with it. People telling me to do something that I never did. So, when it comes to doing a lot of things you never did, you gotta make sure you get the right information. If you never did it before, sometimes it's a little bit more harder because you never did it, because you're gonna miss steps, wrong information, wrong things. If you don't have a proper guidance or somebody that did it already to guide you, then that'd be the hard part. So I don't really have that. So I try to follow the rules of going back to the OEM because there's more information on doing the OEM way than doing the DOD delete. You know, everybody, oh, you should have did that. Yeah, you be saying I should have did that, but have you ever done it? That's the thing. Like, people be like, do it. You never did it. So how you telling me to do something that you never did, right? Just because you hear everybody else doing it, but you never did it. So now when I go and do it, I'm going to run into a whole bunch of trouble and wish I never did it. But more like now, which I did, you know, the regular one, I kind of understand more about it now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, since I've been through this exercise I've been through. So now I can understand why people did it, because now I know how the OEM way is functioning and what it does. You dig what I'm saying? So, like, people will tell you to do things and they have a vehicle that don't even have a setup. They don't even have a GM. Like, they got a Honda. You know what I mean? Like, and that's, you know, that's the thing, like, that kills me sometimes. Like, you know, like, you should have, why didn't you, and you drive a Porsche. You take your car to the dealer to get service. Okay? Right. Or you don't drive a Dodge. You drive a Kia. Right. And that's what I'm saying. So with me, it's just figuring it out on my own the best way I can. Alright, so now we're just gonna check the oil on this, which I told y'all, if you look at the previous videos, I did an oil change on the Armor's box already, and I have to actually do a little bit of quick maintenance on this. The quick maintenance I have to do on this is basically, I gotta take this out. I gotta charge this battery. I think this battery is gonna last me, I actually see the date on the battery, 12/21 was the manufactured date. So 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Is that his last stance, people? 12/21. So you already know. I'm gonna get through the summer with this one, hopefully, and then it gotta get swapped out. I think all my batteries gotta get swapped out. I gotta look at the ones in the trunk, and that's the thing. Again, which I'm gonna speak about, things I would not do again. Right. One thing I would not do again is a custom music system. I would not do it again. I think it's a dying breed too. Doing the whole custom big trunk with music and 4 batteries, whatever. I'm not doing that again because of the fact that it's a bad investment. It's a very bad investment because of the fact that you spend thousands of dollars to do that, right? And we're not using this every day. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty clean and full. That's how you want your oil, golden, right? So the Black Chevy is good with the oil. What I got to do with this, I got to check the training oil, and I got to add power steering oil to this. So that's on the note list. So yeah, so as I was saying, it's just the maintenance of this thing. Like, I got a bad ground or a RCA or something bad, and I don't even drive this like that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't beat the music hard. I beat the music, but I don't beat it hard. And it's always some kind of dumb little maintenance or something dumb I have to do to it. It took up all my trunk space, right? This and the airbag, the airbag tanks and all that. I got no trunk. I got no this and that. So that's one thing I did at one time, people. To me, it's cool, but I have nothing to prove. I don't want to show off. I don't be showcasing music and all that like that. I did it because it was just something that, you know, I wanted to try, I wanted to do, and I did it. And now it's like this car been sitting here all winter with a big ass system in the trunk. All this blah, blah, blah. It's a little bit, and then after a while, what happens to people, the stuff get outdated because of the fact that new stuff come out, new designs come out, better stuff come out. And then now, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you'll go keep on updating and keep on da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I barely even use the damn car. But I'll be using it a little bit more this summer, because everything now, I'll tell you, man, I'm going to get my money's worth. So, trust me. This car right here, you think I won't be driving it? Watch me. Watch me. And that's what I'm telling y'all, like, watch me. Just the way I drive Renzel and everything else, watch me. Trust me. I changed the front tires last year, and they scuffed up my rim, right? And if I do the rim again, I don't know, they you can't see the rim's a little dirty, but, you know, that'll be the last time the only thing I may remix it. You dig what I'm saying? I may remix it one more time, and that's it. Because as I said, these things right here, you gotta, what I learned about doing things custom, man, you gotta babysit things too much. I don't like to babysit. I don't like to babysit things. Because when you do all that custom-ish, whatever, it's like you can't drive it regular. Like, you gotta really super babysit it. And I hate babysitting a vehicle, man. I don't wanna do that. All right, so the last car I gotta check, people, is the Toyota. All right, so this right here, I don't babysit it. One thing about the Toyota, as I said, I'm gonna clean it up. It's always gonna be clean, like little rust stuff like that, make it black, whatever. I ain't doing no body work on this. Once I start doing body work and make it clean, I ain't gonna wanna drive it because somebody's just gonna like hit it, whatever. Nah, I'm not doing no body work on this. Little things, I may change the mat, clean it up, but all that, making it look like whatever, nah. Somebody caught me for the Toyota joint, or it fell out. I don't know. So, and I didn't open this in a while. And I have a little bit of work to do, as I said right here. I got some real build-up right here. I'm gonna spray it down, clean it up. I gotta change the belt. It's squeaking. This bone mount, I got a new one. I gotta change the other mounts, which I ain't get yet. I should have. And it got some debris. I gotta do a motor wash on this. All right, so let's check the oil in this. So for this one right here, it's actually, I had the trip counter on it, and this pat's like 33. So look, this is still good, but I'm changing it because it's at 3,300 miles. So, and I drive this, so I'm just looking at the color. The color is good. Renzel is dirty for some reason. It's still dirty as hell, and I actually been driving this more than Renzel. So Renzel is like super dirty, but you know, Renzel worked a little bit harder for whatever reason that it's super dirty like that. But as I said, I have, which I'm gonna show y'all. Let me find my key. And I got like parts and stuff like that to tell you I'm about to be, I'm like the super DIY person, like real talk. So I'm gonna show y'all my trunk of the Toyota. Like, when I tell you I'm super DIY, people, I'm super DIY. You dig what I'm saying? So with this right here, as I was telling you at the last joint, this is that bone mount for the Toyota. Right? No cap in my wrap, so that's a bone mount. Right? That gotta get swapped out. That's pretty, hopefully, I be like saying things is easy, but anything that look too easy, I already know. Y'all already know. So let me get this back clipped in. This is a tranny fluid for the this is basically empty. I gotta actually, as I said, I gotta actually check to make sure that I'm good on the transmission fluid. Everything is topped up correctly. This was the oil I used for the box Chevy, the orange box. This is an extra bottle right here. I always get 7. This is because what I gotta do. I actually have still old oil. Fill these back up to give it back to AutoZone. This is coolant for the Toyota. This is basically the new. This is the Delco oil, which is going to Renzel, and the long sleeve filter right there. So more likely that's gonna get done today. I gotta get oil for the Toyota, and that's how that's looking. So, and then this right here is the old DOD joint. I gotta get rid of that. Just wanna make sure I got all my keys, people. I don't wanna make a mistake and you know how you make a mistake and you close the trunk and then your keys in the trunk. Alright, so that's that for the Toyota. You already know. So I was thinking about going with the OEM. The OEM, let me dump this tissue. I was thinking about going with the OEM oil for the Toyota, but I don't know. And Renzel, as I said, Renzel oil is dirty. And I got the tire patch yesterday. If y'all looked at my other video, y'all can see the circle right here. Got it patched, not what you call it, not plug. So patch, not plug. So hopefully that's a little bit better than what I need. And just looking at, oh man, just dropped that tissue in there. Just looking at the brake fluid, because I know I had changed that caliber. And Renzel basically just kind of need a wash up. I gotta top off this I may have to top off this power steering joint too. Then I top off all of it. See where is that? Just wanted to put a little bit more in the bottle because I don't think I had enough. So I want to top that off, and I'm kind of mad at myself because of the fact that when I what I had to do, I changed this bracket. I had to take the pulley out. This was accessible, the power steering pump. I should have just ordered another one and just swapped it out one time. And another thing I'm mad at, the manifold. I should have bought a new manifold for this side. I just went back with the old one. Just to say, you know, it was done. I'm not saying it was, I don't know, manifold, I don't think it ever been swapped, but it's just the fact that it was still available at GM. I should have bought it. So yeah, so pretty much as I said, Renzel, you know, I just still have to, you know, always got to check things with this car because I took this car. And I'm looking at the, I don't know, y'all maybe can't see the big transmission cooler. It was had like a little slight leak before with the hose, which looked good. Tighten that up. And I'm just, you know, as I said, I'm just monitoring. You know, eventually I got to get a new battery, what's going on here with the battery, which is I'm seeing some corrosion build up on the negative side for some reason. But I'm just looking at where did all this white stuff come from in the battery, which I don't know. And yeah, like certain things which I wish I did, like I wish I had I could have bought a new valve covers, which I didn't. I wish I had actually got them powder coated. Always wanted to powder coat the valve covers. But at the point in time, as I said, I was really just I remember actually I had changed the damn core pack harness, trying to figure out the cylinder 7 joint. Like I did a lot of work on Renzel, people, and y'all don't know. As y'all look at this motor right here, everything on the top end is damn near brand new. Valley cover brand new, alternator, this bracket right here I broke brand new, water pump brand new, AC compressor brand new. We talking about AC. Actually, I got 2 cans of Freon for the box Chevy. I gotta get that AC going again. I think I'm actually gonna do that today. What else? Manifold, gaskets, bolts. When I tell you I did a lot, people, I did a super duper lot. Them lines y'all seeing right here, this line, oil line, tranny line, did that. Shocks, did a lot to Renzel, boy. Did a whole lot. Bolts, had to get new bolts, cut bolts. Oh yeah, the one thing I had to do else with Renzel was as I told you, I got that P0430 code keep on triggering. What the hell I did with the cap for this right here? Yeah, that keep on triggering. So I am going to have to eventually cut something and do something to get that code to stop. Wait a minute, what happened here with this bumper? So this bumper right here, I was pricing this bumper, right, people? So this bumper right here, I don't know how GM sells it. They sell it where? They sell this bumper like coming like, they so smart. They sell this bumper in pieces. So I think the bumper cover comes here. I think they sell the bottom part. So I think the top part is like another piece you have to add on. They sell it like separate. So I think they selling, I'm not sure, I think I'm positive. They selling just this bottom part for about $400. So I think it's coming from like Arizona or something. Not a bad price. To ship it, they want like $350. And I don't think that's including tax. So it was like a whole $800 deal. So actually, I was looking for a used one. So if I find a good used one, actually, I plan to make a trip to that Harry U Pullet. I'm actually never been there before. So if I could find a used one that's red, I was actually looking online. I seen used ones that's red because this right here, it looked like it, from my understanding, it looked like it ripped more. Like, I gotta make sure, like, it looked like it ripped more for some reason. Like, I didn't nudge it or not. I be having to watch this car because, like, people just be like, you know, but, right, it ripped right here. So, as I said, if I can find a good new one, not new used, I'm gonna buy it same color, for the low. If I could get it for the low. If I get it for the low, then I may just paint it. But other than that, all this stuff here, they sell it separate. Like, it's crazy. So even the rear, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna do one at a time. The front is maybe more needed than the rear. As I told you, somebody done nudged me here, but you know, I try my best to keep my vehicles what it is, whatever. So that's the cosmetic stuff I'm gonna be working on. I really don't care about that right now, people, honestly. You know what I mean? Once the vehicle is super clean and all that, you know what I mean? I'd rather do a lot of other little things first before, as I always told y'all, I study the cosmetics. Cosmetics is gonna come, performance is first, and then there's a lot of little things I like to just, change to make it perfect. I changed all of these. I was looking for a new one of this one, but couldn't find it. But I may take this one out and basically clean it. Like, just clean it up and whatever. And when I do the whole motor wash thing, whatever. So, all right, folks. But other than that, man, I'm gonna get this day started. Just tap into the YouTube, or you are on the YouTube. I mean, subscribe. And just watch out for the videos. As I said, I'm just trying to get these vehicles together. And we almost there. Trying to figure out the next road trip that makes sense to me. And I'm going to take it from there. I think I need another cup of coffee doing all this talking to y'all, man. Y'all got me working. So, yeah, y'all already know the vibes. Y'all already see what's going on. So, all right, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Life of Mike Glass.